In the previous episode of our program, we told you about the first part of Moscow Days in the Republic of the Philippines. They took place in the country's capital, Manila, and were filled with important, vivid, and unforgettable events. The main one was signing the cooperation program between the government of Moscow and Manila for 2026 to 2028.
We signed our first agreement with Manila in 2023. At that time, there were many skeptics who doubted that Moscow and Manila could build friendly, warm, and creative relations. But as our experience has shown, today Manila is one of the most active partners of the Russian capital. And, of course, the continuation of the cooperation program, the new version that we signed, has updated everything that major metropolitan areas genuinely need today.
The Moscow Days program in Manila also included many other events: a chess tournament, a concert by stars of the Moscow Ballet, a major business forum, various photo exhibitions, meetings with Filipino students, and lively dancing with the Moscow ensemble Luba Mila. However, Moscow Days in the Philippines did not end there, for our travels continued on the island of Cebu and in the city bearing the same name. On today's program, the second part of the vibrant Moscow Days in the Philippines.
I believe that Moscow Days were a great success, and as a result, today we already have two major partners in the Philippines.
Moscow and the Philippines honor the memory of the author of War and Peace.
Of course, number one, we are very proud that we have here Sir Leo Tolstoy.
The Russian-Filipino chess battles continue.
The first thing, I honestly wasn't prepared for the high level of play. I may have realized that rather late.
Moscow and Cebu develop business ties.
Moscow has outstanding experience in developing urban infrastructure as well as smart city technologies and systems. Naturally, Filipinos look at this, are impressed, and learn from it.
The Mayor of Cebu City is interested in continuing cooperation with Moscow.
We look forward to another more years of continuous brotherhood.
So, we've arrived in Cebu. This is the oldest city in the Philippines. And here we'll be spending 3 days together with the Moscow delegation. Cebu is the name of the island, a province located on it, and a city on its eastern coast. It was here, during his round-the-world voyage in 1521, that the Portuguese explorer Ferdinand Magellan, sailing in the service of the Spanish Empire, came ashore. He persuaded local residents to embrace Christianity and presented the ruler of Cebu, Raja Humabon, with a wooden cross that is now kept in this pavilion. A month later, Magellan was killed in battle on a neighboring island, never completing his circumnavigation. However, this did not prevent the Spanish from ruling Cebu and the entire Philippines for more than 300 years. Today, Cebu is a highly developed city and province, one of the most economically important regions in the Philippines. More than 3 million people live on the island, over 2 million of them in the Cebu metropolitan area. The program Moscow Days in Cebu starts in the Russian Center, which opened 1 year ago. And this Russian Center is the very first in the Philippines. The center was opened in Cebu with the support of the Ruski Mir Foundation, established in 2007 by decree of Russian President Vladimir Putin. It was also created with the participation of the non-profit organization, the Philippine Russian Business Assembly, headed by Ms. Armi Lopez Garcia, Honorary Council of the Russian Federation in the provinces of Cebu, Aklan, and Bohol.
It's an honor for me to be given this task of promoting the Russian culture, the Russian language, not only in Cebu, but all over the Philippines. Because I have a confession to make. I love Russia, and I love all of you. I love the Russian people. I call you as my long-lost brothers and sisters.
The Russian Center in Cebu is a true stronghold of Russian culture on the island. Lectures, exhibitions, seminars and film screenings are held here. And of course, this is where people study the Russian language. This meeting was devoted specifically to the promotion of the Russian language in the Philippines, with the participation of representatives of the Department for External Economic and International Relations of Moscow and the Russian Embassy in the Philippines. The Centre signed memorandums with 3 leading universities and institutes of the country on promoting the Russian language. This means that the study of the language of Tolstoy and Pushkin will now reach a new qualitative level in the Philippines.
In this center, we feel the real heart of Russian Federation, we feel the real heart of Moscow, and I can assure you that we will do more to support your center.
After the memorandums were signed, students attended an informative lecture on the great Russian poet delivered by Yevgeny Bogotaryov, director of the Pushkin State Museum.
When I looked at the faces and into the eyes of the students who listened to my lecture, I felt great joy and satisfaction because they were truly interested. And of course, this means that they will certainly find an opportunity to read Pushkin's works in English, and perhaps some of them will even learn Russian. That is also entirely possible.
Russian poets and writers are well known and well loved in the Philippines. And as you now all know, Manila has its own monument dedicated to Pushkin. And here in Cebu, they also have their monument to Leo Tolstoy. The monument to the author of War and Peace, Anna Karenina, and other great works was unveiled in Cebu province on October the 21st, 2010, during the Philippine-Russian Business Forum. The monument's creator, the well-known Russian sculptor Grigory Potocki, donated it to the country in the centenary year of the writer's death. At first, the bust was installed in another location, but 6 years later it was carefully moved to the grounds of the Sugbo Museum. Today, members of the Moscow delegation, leaders of the city and provincial governments of Cebu, and representatives of the Russian Embassy in the Philippines have gathered here to honor the memory of Leo Tolstoy. They laid wreaths at the writer's bust and once again expressed confidence in their speeches that friendship between Moscow and Cebu and between Russia and the Philippines will only grow stronger.
And another special appreciation I'd like to address to the authorities of the city, of the province of Cebu, because it truly is a special attention to our history, to our great writers, to others. And that is why I am here repeating that our two nations are so friendly, because we have many similarities, and one is respect to the history.
Of course, number one, we are very proud that we have here Sir Leo Tolstoy. And then when it comes to culture, when it comes to the heritage, there are quite similarities between the Philippine and the Russia culture. So we are very happy to celebrate the 50th anniversary, the friendship between the Philippines and Russia, and we are looking forward for more collaboration, more exchanges when it comes to culture, education, and trade. So I'm a proud representative of the province of Cebu, and I hope that we will continue our ties stronger, bigger, and bolder.
Here in Cebu, we are very open, especially to Russia, because, you know, we are allies. We can exchange cultures, we can exchange things. So this is a very big thing because, you know, as a country that does not really have a lot of help, or does have help, but then not that much. So it's a very big thing for our community to have international relationships, especially with Russia.
I hope we have to maintain our unity, our friendship, and our exchange of social culture and I hope we can increase our economic activities here in Cebu with, of course, the Russian Federation in coordination with your government.
After the official part, Russian music rang out in the courtyard of the Cebu Museum. As always, the Lubomila Ensemble performed the best-known Russian folk songs brightly and energetically. Neither the members of the Moscow delegation nor the Cebu officials could resist the charm of the performers and the magic of Russia's national music. The Moscow delegation's morning starts with a meeting with the Mayor of Cebu. Members of the Moscow delegation, as well as Russian ambassador to the Philippines, Marat Pavlov, and Honorary Consul Armi Lopez Garcia, attended the meeting with the mayor.
This is the first time that I have received a delegation, big delegation from Moscow. I'm very happy about it because as a new mayor, it is an honor to receive such a delegation such as coming from Russia as an ambassador and a deputy.
The Moscow guests meeting with the mayor was not a formal one. A wide range of issues related to developing cooperation between the two cities was discussed, including transport management, waste disposal, the development of robotics, and other topics important for improving the quality of life in major cities.
I like the fact he asks very specific questions, such as how and from what age should children be taught to work with technology. The mayor is interested in the younger generation, how and where to obtain technologies for waste processing. I told him the technologies do exist, but what I liked the most was his positive attitude, the fact that he immediately gave instructions to all of his colleagues. This wasn't just a meeting held for the cameras, as is often the case. These were actual instructions.
Moscow and Cebu are linked by strong partnership ties. 2 years ago, during the BRICS International Municipal Forum in Moscow, the cities signed a cooperation agreement for 2024 to 2027. The online signing ceremony was attended by Sergei Cheromin, Minister of the Government of Moscow, Head of the Department for External Economic and International Relations of Moscow, and the former Mayor of Cebu City, Raymond Garcia.
Our cooperation program provides for interaction in virtually all areas. First and foremost, of course, these are the economy, the social sphere, healthcare, and education. And we plan to cooperate in implementing such programs as Smart and Safe City and in the field of digitalization.
The new mayor, Nestor Archival, who has held the office since 2025, is also committed to developing relations between Moscow and Cebu.
We have started that in 2024, and it's the expiration is 3 years. But I would be very willing to continue as the city is going forward. We look forward to another more years of continuous brotherhood.
In Cebu, just as in the country's capital, people had been eagerly awaiting the Russian-Filipino chess tournament held as part of Moscow Days. However, unlike in Manila, the local organizers decided that it would be better for the players to compete in their usual setting, in silence. The many spectators followed the games on a screen in the neighboring hall. Since 2009, chess has been part of the school curriculum in the Philippines. That is why, as you can see, there are so many young players amongst the participants. In the simultaneous exhibition game, Russian Grandmaster Ivan Popov once again competed against the best local chess players. 15 chess players, among them the Cebu champion in his age category, offered serious resistance to the Moscow master.
The first thing, I honestly was not prepared for their high level of play. I may have realized that rather late. It was clear that these people study chess and were very well prepared. Honestly, I did not expect that. In Manila, I lost 1 game out of 20, and here, 2 out of 15. So yes, 2 players beat me, and that shows they were seriously prepared. The Grandmaster noted the exceptionally high level of preparation among the Filipino chess players, probably in part because there are strong historical traditions here. After all, it was here in the Philippines that the historic 1978 World Championship match between Anatoly Karpov and Karchnoi took place.
In the Philippines, chess is part of our culture. In the barangays, in the villages, people like to play chess. This is part of the Philippines that we would like to share to Russia.
The participants of the Russian-Filipino chess tournament were presented with awards that very same evening during a formal reception organised by the government of Cebu province to mark the 50th anniversary of diplomatic relations between Russia and the Philippines. During the official part of the event, Cebu Province Governor Pamela Baricuatro addressed the Moscow guests with a welcoming speech.
It is my honor to warmly welcome all of you to the province of Cebu as we celebrate the 50th anniversary of Philippines-Russia relations. Welcome to Cebu and welcome to our heart. This milestone is a celebration of friendship, cultural exchange, cooperation, and the meaningful connections built between our people through the years. On behalf of the provincial government of Cebu and the Cebuanos, I extend our heartfelt welcome to our distinguished guests, especially Minister of the Government of Moscow, and all our Russian friends and partners joining us tonight.
The highlights of the ceremonial evening was the signing of an important document, a cooperation program between Moscow and Cebu province for 2026 to 2028. The program outlines the areas in which the parties will cooperate and exchange experience. These include smart city technologies, for which Moscow is well known, waste disposal, improvements to urban transport operations, and many other important areas of mutual interest for the development of both the Russian capital and Cebu province.
Today we celebrate the 5th anniversary of the establishment of diplomatic relations between the Russian Federation and the Republic of the Philippines. And I can say with certainty that the true strength of international relations lies not only in intergovernmental contacts, but also in the living direct ties between our cities and our people. And Moscow consistently develops mutually beneficial partnerships with Filipino cities.
"50 years ago, the USSR and the Philippines officially became friends. Today, Cebu is hosting a special business forum dedicated to this important event. All events of Moscow Days in the Philippines began with the national anthems of the two countries, and the business forum held in the Cebu Provincial Government Building was no exception. Then the Cebu Normal University Choir took the stage. Vice Governor of Cebu Province Glenn Anthony Soko then addressed the members of the Moscow delegation from the forum podium. He noted that the region he represents is ready to deepen cooperation with Moscow and is positioning itself as a key entry point for partnership with the Philippines as a whole.
Today marks more than just a business gathering. It is a reaffirmation of friendship, mutual respect, and shared aspirations between Cebu and the Russian Federation, and now deeply to Moscow. A relationship that has steadily grown through the years through diplomacy, cultural exchange, education, tourism, and economic cooperation.
As at the other business events of Moscow Days in the Philippines, specific objectives for developing business relations between the Russian capital and Cebu and methods for implementing them were discussed here. Moscow presented its investment, industrial, technological, and foreign economic potential. Representatives of Cebu spoke about the specifics of doing business in the Philippines, market entry conditions, partner search, and priority sectors of the economy.
As President of the Mandawi Chamber of Commerce and Industry, I reaffirm our commitment to further strengthening this partnership and exploring even more opportunities for collaboration in trade, investment, innovation, tourism, education, and cultural exchange. We firmly believe that stronger business relationships pave the way for stronger communities and greater prosperity for all.
Moscow has outstanding experience in developing urban infrastructure, as well as smart city technologies and systems. Naturally, Filipinos look at this, are impressed and learn from it. And on the basis of that exchange, business cooperation develops as well. In other words, we are bringing Russian companies here to the Philippines so that they can cooperate on this basis. Accordingly, we are setting the direction, where to look, where we could work well together in order to build genuinely mutually beneficial cooperation.
In their reports and presentations, representatives of the Filipino business community spoke in detail about the methods and scale of attracting funds into Cebu's economy. At present, most foreign investment on the island comes from Singapore. Many of the speakers expressed hope that this situation would change in the coming years, and that Russia and Moscow would become the main source of investment in enterprises and infrastructure development in Cebu, especially in IT technologies in agriculture, healthcare, and education.
Let's make it happen here in the Philippines. That's our battle cry. The Philippines is a very strategic location. It has a young workforce. We invest a lot in our human capital, and we also have a lot of natural resources such as green metals. And also we capitalize on our being friendly to both investors and tourists, especially in the areas of renewable energy, as well as more smart manufacturing, smart agriculture. Those are the areas that we really want to be invested here in the province of Cebu.
This brought the eventful Moscow Days in the Republic of the Philippines to a close. The event was organized by the Department for External Economic and International Relations of Moscow and the Moscow Center for International Cooperation. Moscow Days, including the signing of important agreements, business forums, negotiations, and an extensive cultural program.
I believe that the Moscow Days were a great success. They covered not only the capital, Manila, but also Cebu City, the second largest city in the Philippines. In Cebu province, Moscow also signed a cooperation agreement. And as a result of this, today we already have two major partners in the Philippines.
Our trip to the Philippines has come to an end. 5 days of meetings, conversations, and new impressions are behind us. Now Moscow has even more friends in this wonderful country. I'm sure we will return here many more times. My name is Mike Gibson, and this has been an episode of Moscow MOSAIC from the Philippines. See you next time. Bye.